Welcome to the Waste and Recycling Committee meeting. Let's start with a pledge of allegiance. Ready, begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Note that both directors are here. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There's no changes.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Okay. Public comment. This period's for things not included on the agenda. Do you have things that aren't included in the agenda that you'd like to speak for?
Could we have you come up to the microphone over here?
Yeah. Actually, why don't we just let him do it now? Even if it is part of the agenda, since he's the only one here.
Okay, I'm Leonard Walquist, and with the several people even, we're supposed to be recycling, a lot of us are trying to recycle, and the truck is dumping all 3 cans in the same truck. So we're paying $30 a billing cycle more, and we're not getting really what we paid for. It's not happening what's supposed to be happening.
So let me just kind of take care of that one real quick. So 2 things with that. Number one, the billing has nothing to do with the recycle organics at all yet. So if you're billing up for bins, that's because the price for bin service hasn't gone up in years. So they finally decided, hey, we need to increase the price there. And then as far as barrels, that only goes up by CPI. So nothing is actually charged for recycling and organics yet, which is $96 a ton for recycle and $101 a ton for organics. So none of that's even incorporated in the pricing yet. And then 2 reasons for the one truck. One, we have a split body rear loader and a split body semi-automatic 35. So those have a wall right down the middle so that we can pick up 2 commodities at one time, because a few reasons for that. One, we want to save money on fuel and personnel. We want to try to keep the roads the best we can because 2 trucks are better than 3. And the lower we keep the pricing, when we revisit this in January for pricing, we're not going to have to increase it as much as we would say we used a whole bunch of trucks. If the trash truck is picking it up, there's a reason for that too. So if we have one route that consists of 250 stops and the drivers have gotten through 50 of those stops and they were contaminated, the MRF won't accept that organic material. It can only have like 1% contamination, and it won't accept the recycled material. They'll charge us for it. They'll send us away. Then we still have to go drive over to the transfer station and dump that. So there's a reason why if it's contaminated a portion of the route, we'll complete that route as trash, make sure we take all that to the transfer station. Again, that way we revisit this in January for pricing. We're trying to keep the prices as low as we can for customers is the reason for that. So if it's contaminated and we know it's going to be more than 20% contamination, we're going to pick up the rest of that route that would have to be picked up by that truck. We're going to send that recycle truck that only got 30 stops, we're going to send him to the MRF. So we at least save that recycle material. The trash truck will continue that route and pick everything up together because it's already got this much X contamination. So again, we're trying to save everybody money, we're trying to save everybody time, and when we revisit this in January, like I said, and we open the books and we look at what it costs for everything, those things are going to be the things that really make the difference.
Okay, but isn't the plastic, the food waste is required to be in plastic? Isn't that contaminating the...
So here's what they do. BirdTech asks you to put your green waste in the bin loose, right? Or in the barrel loose, and then your food waste in a bag in there. And what happens when we take it to BirdTech as organic and green waste material, we dump it, they send a crew out to their tipping floor, they hand pick out each one of those bags, take it over to the food waste pile, open it, and empty it there. That's the way BirdTech wants it, because that's where we're taking it right now, is the BirdTech MRF of Abbey Road. So that's how we're gonna do it right now, until A, we either take it down to another organics and green waste facility, which we're in the works with doing right now anyways, or B, they change their protocol for how they wanna do it.
Thank you. That's understandable, but it's still not cost effective.
You mean the green waste?
Any of this recycling is not cost effective.
Oh, yeah, we've agreed with that forever. It's not, we didn't want to do it, PPH, CSD didn't want to do it, Cal Recycle wants to do it, and the governor wanted to do it. We agree it's not cost
As I say,
effective.
it'd be nice to have somebody responsible from Sacramento here.
Right. Yeah, this is something that I'm part of a coalition that still fights little laws that are coming out that don't make any sense. So this is something that we fought, this is something that CSD's fought forever. We've been fighting since 2016. Now, we're in agreement on that.
Okay. The other one, I guess you can't answer either, is they want us to recycle the plastic and we're still paying the CRV on the plastic.
So that too, the way that you can kind of combat that is you can keep your plastic bottles and you can go recycle those.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's still, that's what they want, so it's same as double dipping, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And what Cal Recycle's trying to come up with, and I'm talking way ahead of when it probably will happen, but Cal Recycle is working with some lobbyists now where they want to do some sort of curbside pickup and redemption. So that will be later on, but that's something that we're talking about in AB 52 or so. I can't tell you the exact number, but that's something that's been brought up by Cal Recycle already, talking about giving redemption value at curbside. So that is something they're aware of, I guess. We'll see if they make a change on it.
It'll have to be subsidized too, because it won't make any money.
Right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, approval of the minutes.
I will move the minutes. They look good to me.
I'll second that. Review of solid waste events. What events do we have coming up?
So we don't really have anything coming up right now. We did just recently have a tire event, which I will turn over to Brandon and he can give us some numbers.
Yeah, that tire event went really well. We had residents all day long coming through. I think we ended up with just over 450 total tires. I just want to remind everybody that it's 9 tires per vehicle, and that's a DOT regulation. That's a road regulation. That's not something that we made up. But we got to remember that we're spreading the word that it's 9 tires per vehicle and not commercial tires. Luckily, we do our best because where we take them, those people work with us really well, and they'll end up taking those commercial tires. So I do the best I can for the customers. But if we were to send them anywhere else, we wouldn't be able to take commercial tires. So please try to make sure we're not taking commercial tires.
Is RV tires considered commercial?
No, those are still they're still road tires. Those will be fine.
22.5s on my motor.
22.5. Oh, the 22.5Rs. Yeah, those are still commercial. The big ones, the 22.5s. But for right now, I'll still take them. Just don't tell anybody. As I say it online. yeah, exactly. I should have turned my mic off first.
And we don't know what the dates are yet for any future ones?
We do that event, we usually alternate between a tire day and a community cleanup / tire day, and we do them quarterly, so the next one should be around September sometime.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. You good with that? Chuck? You good? Cool. Okay. Update on uniform collection. How are we doing?
Yeah, like I was stating earlier too, before we started, we're doing really well. If there is anybody out there who doesn't have a green or doesn't have a blue barrel, please let us know, because there's a really good chance it was dropped off and stolen, because we're having a huge issue, and I'm sure everybody's seeing it, but people walking down the street with a green barrel or blue barrel heading to the recycling center. I see it every day. I picked up 12 of them the other day just behind the gym. So people will take them there, recycle their bottles, recycle their cans, and then leave our barrels there. They were very expensive. So there's a good chance they were delivered, possibly stolen. Some houses were kind of hard to locate for the crew that were delivering them in the beginning, so we're down to very few that still need barrels. But if you do need one, please contact us and we'll make sure we either A, replace it, or B, you get it in the first place. But running very smooth. Like I said, the contamination stuff we're working through. We had pictures of contamination. We've made a file, but we're going to keep working with that too.
What about picking up the extra green barrels?
What do you mean?
Well, originally we had 2 green barrels.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then they dropped off the green and the blue.
Uh-huh.
So now we have 4 barrels altogether.
Yeah. We'll pick up those additional barrels. That's something that we kind of put on wayside for a while because I'd rather pick up extra for customers than pull the barrel that they were supposed to have. So like with you had 2 barrels. You should have kept one and then got the other 2, and then we would have pulled the other one. Some customers paid for an additional barrel. So while we're in the process of figuring out who needs to have those pulled, we kind of let everybody keep the extra barrels for now, and then we're pulling as we go. We've gotten through quite a few routes.
But somehow you need to communicate because I'm 300 feet from the street. And the same thing, if I leave it out there, it's probably gonna disappear before you come and get it.
Yeah, that's a chance. But we will service that and pull that on your service day anyway, so it'd be a day that it was out, yeah.
And if you want to meet with me afterwards, I can get your address and write that down for him so I can send it over to CRNR. If you want it.
Yeah, but next Wednesday I'm leaving for 2 months. so
Okay. Kind of pointless then.
It'd be easier if I just drop it off over there.
Okay, you good with this, Chuck?
Yep.
Okay. Any staff reports?
None at this time.
Okay. Any action items?
So from last time, we had the franchise amendments to the board, which they did go, I believe. And then to schedule a Burtec tour, which I'm not sure where we're at on that, but I could follow up on that.
We're moving forward. I sent him a few dates for July,
Okay.
and then he's gonna send it back mid-July is what we're
Mid-July.
looking at, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll send the dates to you guys for approval. You guys let me know what works for everybody, and then we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good.
That sounds good. It'd be nice to see how a different facility functions.
Yeah, and they're all clean MRFs are the same, is what you'll learn. But once you get to a MRF, which if you haven't had a chance to, it's going to be really cool. It's an eye opener to kind of see the process that it goes through and the issues you can run into with contamination.
Well, I was very impressed with the facility down in Paris.
Yeah, well,
That was
that one is our CRNR facility in Paris is completely different and
That was
top of the line.
amazing.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
so seeing this, I'm realizing I'm going to see a different scale.
Yeah.
And if we already did the franchise amendments, I know we were looking at something for past due billing.
I believe that's going to take place next year. Is that right, Brendan?
Yeah, the tax roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna wait on that.
Okay.
So that we're not having to worry about cramming that to you guys yet and having to have everybody figure it out. So what we're doing now is, unfortunately, we do have a pretty high unpaid balance in Phelan right now. We're gonna go back to what we called stop services. So if they're 3 months past due on a bin or 6 months past due on their barrels, we're going to be either A, pulling the barrels, or B, stopping service. But I want everybody to know too, we're going to work with them. So if they come in and say, hey, I owe $1,500, I've got $300 this payday, can I pay it? Yeah, and we're going to continue service. So we're still working with the customers.
So as long as they're going more towards
Exactly.
positive
Yeah,
and not falling farther behind.
right.
Okay. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad I asked about that because I know we had talked about it at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, set agenda for next meeting. Is there, I think, keeping the same formula?
Yes, unless you guys have any changes.
You
I
wanna
will
add it?
not be here the 17th.
I was gonna say, I thought so.
Oh, so do we want to just cancel next month or we want to schedule it a week later?
We can cancel it. If something comes up, I can get with you guys about rescheduling.
That sound good?
I'll leave it up to you, whatever you'd
Why don't we
like
do
to
that?
do
We
with
cancel
it.
it for right now and we'll reschedule it if something comes up.
Okay.
Okay?
Works for me.
And then we'll do the meeting in August, which will be the 4th or 3rd Wednesday. I don't know what the date is right now. Okay, adjournment. We're wrapping this up. Thank you, guys. Another one for the books.